So we're back here on Redfeather Falls yet again in the Hunter Classic, still hunting for a 400 plus elk and 350 plus elk to make skull mounts out of. So we're gonna start. Wait a minute. How did we get here? Okay, so in reality, I kind of got tired of just hunting for elk, and I was looking at the new Texas Lodge and just how much space there still is in it, and there's a couple of things that are appealing about settlers. Number one, there's cottontail rabbits here, and some of those small round platforms we literally just have blank. We don't have enough mounted rabbits and ducks over the years to even fill those. The other thing is, there's black bear here, and the ability to do skull mounts on some of those little table skull platforms. So, lots of potential trophies we could run into out here. Settlers isn't exactly known for big males. We have killed our last couple of big elk on Settlers 390 plus, so maybe today's the day. Plus, we have an opportunity to go for some other stuff that we could definitely improve on in the lodge. So getting started with, I guess, a decent whitetail buck, 115 to 140, and he may actually be one of those odd ones that cracks 130 with the smaller frame. We'll go ahead and try to get him taken out, and one thing that I was thinking of, when I set the loadout for this map, our preset for Settler Creek still has the cableback bow from when we were trying to get to 1,000 kills, so one thing that will probably be better about this hunt than a bunch of hunts in the past, we shouldn't have to track too much stuff, but our first buck, lung liver stomach shot, is going to be a 123 score, so not quite as big as I thought, but certainly could be worse, and we're trying something a little bit different. We're going to scoot down through here, and then up past what is my favorite stand on the map right here. I've gotten a lot of decent elk in that area. Now we have the description thing stuck there, and maybe it's going to stay there, but we're going to go up through the mountains from there, rather than starting at this lodge and going south. Now that is a little more like it, 140 to 165, and this guy grunted probably less than 100 meters from where we shot the last one. So effectively, 2 for the price of 1, and we actually get a decent buck here. I was laying here waiting for that one to come in, just fully expecting to score 56, so we will take this any day. Not exactly something we're going to put into the lodge, but a 154 score on Settlers. I mean, we've had entire hunts without a buck that big, so definitely a bonus as we start to get close to where we want to loop back up north. Now, I mentioned rabbits and black bears and the things we could potentially add to this lodge. On the list for sure are rare turkeys. We just recently got a rare pheasant, and the main reason I wanted to shoot that one is not very big, but we do have the 22 long rifle today, which we rarely bring, but I think on a map like this for longer shots at turkeys, because they do take forever to come in, it may actually help us get some rabbits, because frankly with the bow, when you get up close, they just kind of disappear into the grass, so I think that'll be helpful. And it's just going to be, I think, a decent tool for us to hopefully have a successful hunt on Settlers. So 38 score, nothing special there, but I figure we might as well take it out as we make it up towards our stand here. Maybe eventually we'll find an antlered animal that's not a whitetail buck today. And go figure, for so long, we were hunting for a 200 whitetail, and on several occasions came here to Settler Creeks in hopes of finding that. And naturally, we would find way more elk then than we are now. By the way, this little get out of the tree stand and take a shot thing, it only works, you can only exit the stand mid-draw, otherwise you have to actually exit the stand before you draw back. No idea why it works that way, but a useful little thing when they're kind of stuck beside the tree like we had there. Little 108 score. And as we start to move up into the mountains, we should start to find elk, but a lot of times I've had them right here at this stand, so hopefully that's going to be the case. I mean, he's not a rare, but a 60 to 70 estimate turkey with a decent weight estimate? Definitely not a bad deal. And again, we'll go with the 22, mostly because it's still pretty silent anyway, and we don't have to worry about potentially spooking him when we crouch up to use the bow. There's a little indication of how silent it is, by the way. That turkey down there didn't spook. Now that was a trail we've already had, and I haven't had any high weight estimate turkeys, so I'm fairly confident at least that's not going to be a giant. So we'll go ahead and just grab this one and keep on working our way up into the mountains. But we should be looking at, hopefully with that weight, at least a 65. Looks like a good beard. 9.2 is on the lower end, only a 61. A little bit higher in that weight, maybe he'd have been closer there, but he was 60 to 70 and scores 61.1. We'll still take the GM, and I guess that was our 50th wood 22 Plinkington harvest. Go figure. Minus the fact that we still haven't seen a bull elk, this is the most unsettlers settlers hunt that we've ever had. Another decent whitetail, 140 to 160. The only thing is, typically this is about as big a buck we get, and he stopped in the worst spot. Still able to drop him, and as long as he doesn't slide all the way down over, we're calling in something. I just thought for a second there, it almost looked like a decent buck. I had two different 85 to 100 tracks, and really this one I picked up after getting the call. The other one was like an hour old, and we are here for elk, so I was going to ignore that. We're gonna have to go and see. First of all, this one, long liver stomach again. We've been doing that a lot today. 151 score. I may go back and just watch the video again, just in case that was a big one. If this was in fact even a whitetail buck, I'm not sure, but that's what it looked like. Actually, it might have just been a doe. It's fresh tracks, kind of moving down towards where we were. Maybe it was just an illusion with the way the branches and stuff behind it were. If that's the case, we'll take it, because eventually we do need to get into some elk here. Well, as we just continue to not find elk, we're slowly crossing off more and more species from the list. Got a bobcat coming in, and for those we have the 357, so kind of shooting an outline a little bit. That's going to drop him there, and eventually too, like, I wanted to get down into the fields in the south, and kind of at least give ourselves a chance at encountering a cottontail rabbit. And frankly, I don't know where all the elk are on this map right now, but it's not where I would have expected them to be, so maybe we should start to make our way down there. There's definitely elk in that area at times. I just wouldn't say it's the most consistent thing to rely on. So, left lung stomach there, 8.7 score. Nothing super special. But I was going to kind of loop up around like this. We might as well do that, and then if we can't find any elk that way, we'll go ahead and go down south. Well, he's no monster, but we finally have a bull elk 1 hour and 54 minutes in, and it looks like he's with just a bunch of cows. Now, he's kind of way out ahead of everything else. There's another cow there, but if we can get a shot at him, hopefully standing still, maybe this quartering angle, because the lead isn't that bad. Gonna try to get him down early, and even still, for one, we didn't drop him, so that's most of the reason they spooked. Guess we're not gonna know for sure if there was another bull in there unless we get a track, but hopefully that was a lung. It was, so didn't quite get that shot far enough back to get the far side lung, but won't be too long a track. And I had a feeling, I think we actually got lung liver somehow, because he didn't run far at all. That was lung liver. I'm actually not sure how it ended up being, but 221 score, and I guess at this point we're basically to the northern fields. We'll at least check on those for rabbits, and I mean, at this point, like I said, we're basically 2 hours in. Elk could be anywhere. They may just be standing in the middle of the fields all around the map by now. Well, we finally got a rabbit here, and it kind of knows we're here as well. The way that was standing up, I was thinking about trying to get it with a bow, but maybe instead, we do want to go with the 22. You can just hardly see what we're looking at here. That'll be an insta-kill, which isn't exactly a guarantee with the 22. And there was a turkey calling as well, so that's something else to pay attention to as we move down through here. But it's up to 1.7 kilo. Not exactly a giant. I think anything over 1800 score right now, we would probably put in the lodge just to fill those slots. 1300 is well shy of that mark, though. Man, for just a second, I got pretty excited. 60 to 75 estimate on a turkey, but that 8 to 8.7 kilo weight gives him no chance of being over 70. So, again, although we can hardly see it, we're going to use the 22 here and shoot twice until we get him, but second shot's going to bring him down. We did actually spook a rabbit as we were kind of moving around here. I think it might have been one that we had a track from, and there haven't been any tracks at all that have been kind of decent estimates. We'll go and see what this guy is, though. Maybe it's still enough to somehow work its way into the lodge. Gotta think at least it's gonna be towards the upper end of that 8.7 mark. That is a big beard on that guy. Spurs look good. The weight is just lacking. 8.5 kilo. That's a 64.9, so about the size of what we were hoping to see in the first one. It's a good sized bird for sure. Just not quite there. I don't even know if it had like another kilo. That would give it, I think, 4-ish on the score. That would put it right around 68. So we've managed to not only show off the beard on this turkey, but also have the old barn in the background, so that turned out kind of cool. Still hoping for more elk though, and there's one more place I can kind of think of. Down in here by this campsite. Later in hunts, I've had multiple groups of elk kind of congregate there, so we have 13 minutes to fast travel, but I think that'll be kind of where we head over to. You know, it seems we may have just gotten to look at the kind of negative side of settlers today. One thing I'll find is, it feels like every now and then, you just can't find a particular species that you're after. Had we come here for turkeys or whitetail, honestly we'd be doing pretty good. 2 whitetail over 150, 2 turkeys over 60, but what continues to, well, maybe that's the turnaround we need. What continues to happen is that we just get this same herd or 2 of elk. I can't tell you how many rediscovered elk tracks that we've had today. It's been nuts, but got a bull up to 470, and I think that's the rest of that rediscovered herd. Are these all going to be new tracks then? I think might have been onto something with fast traveling to this campsite. So we'll try to figure out where these are going because it's an hour old. But it looks like maybe at least 3 bulls. So this could be interesting. Got a 295 to 345 bull coming in. This guy back here is bigger though. He's 310 to 355. But I'm not sure, as that guy's gonna bugle right in front of us, I'm not sure that we can get this shot off without spooking him. Now, he's kind of stuck. Man, if we can pull this off and get away with it, that would be insane. Gonna try to get this as quick as possible. They're around 70 meters. Gonna take the shot. Oh, we didn't drop him. I can't believe that's gonna be lung and liver again. I'm almost certain of it. And I don't know what the weight was on that guy. Yeah, oh my goodness, he's gonna go down right there. We had everything perfect, and we didn't quite get the drop shot. And our 2, guns today are the 22 long rifle and the 357. We just couldn't shoot the bigger one in the back, which I do think it's gonna be 340-ish, which would be worthy of doing a skull mount of. This guy's not bad himself, but we're gonna have to go and try to track him down. Only 1 back tine, a sticker there, and that short tine. Gotta think this guy's probably 320s, if that. 299 actually. Thought he was a little bigger than that, but we'll take it. Would have been a 300 without the sticker. And the more important thing is, there looked to be a much better one that unfortunately managed to get away. So, not sure if we spotted everything or not. That could really help on the weight estimates, because I think there were 3 bulls in total. That one's 410 to 440, so that's one that we spotted. I think that's our bull up there. 310 to 355, that is the estimate. I don't know if he's coming in. And he does have 1 short tine, everything else looks good. If we can get him to like 60, assuming he's not actually coming into the call, we'll go for that shot. This track has been awful, but if he's coming in, we'll try to get him close, because what I don't want to do is have to track even further if we don't have to. The only problem is, there's a cow elk right behind us. Now, I kind of think there's a chance they're actually trying to regroup, so even though that bull was kind of moving our way, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's coming into the call. So we're going to keep on crawling towards where we last saw him. He, I think, came down over the hill in our direction, but I haven't seen him for a minute, and I really don't like... Well, that's actually a bull there. I think those were 2 separate elk, though. I think there's a cow back there, too. I don't love our odds of just not spooking anything if we just hang here forever. Oh, that's him right there. We have a range finding site, so I'm going to wait till he clears that tree. Not going to worry about trying to get the rangefinder on him with the binoculars. Let's just try to get him down, because I hear that other stuff moving. That's going to drop him. My goodness. I don't know how long we tracked that guy. Too long? But it was terrible. I mean, we started somewhere in here, I think, went all the way down around this tent, back up the hill, and just happened to spot him where he was. He didn't call or anything to make his presence known, but short back tines on the one side, he's not super even. I think that's going to hurt his score. Hopefully just that high estimate, he has a good frame. So next shot, 349. That is worthy of a skull mount. Might be our second biggest one. So let's go ahead and do that. Honestly, I don't know that we're going to take a trophy shot. He is in a terrible spot. Maybe we can make it work with this rock, and of course the rain's going to come in. So, we had to wait forever and a day just for the sun to come back as well. Really just extended everything with this elk, but a 349, the best we've had since we really started to focus on trying to get the skull mounts for that new lodge, and we will absolutely take that. So let's jump back and take a peek at that. And I think because we're in single player, and frankly I didn't even mean to do that, it just kind of happened and I didn't realize, we should be able to move stuff around a little bit better this time than normal. So this particular spot, I really feel like helps out this wall, and I didn't even realize a skull mount could go there until last week's stream, and we shot I think a 336 on that stream. I figured a 349 with the bigger frame. I mean, better tines and less deductions, this guy could easily have been 360, so I think, you know, that bigger frame up there fills that space a little bit better, and really helps out this back wall. So we've taken the 336, put it down on this side, filling up all the elk skull mounts across this area. I'm not even sure where he is on there. Got a 322 there from fairly recently. That's the 336, the next one down. And I just think it's going to be really nice when we have all those skull mounts there. But eventually, you know, maybe we get lucky enough to get a 400 that we can actually shoulder mount and another 400 to do a skull mount of up there. But I want something like a 370 or 380 up on that spot, because I think it would look really good. And again, as far as Settlers goes and the whole being there by accident but not really today, a pretty good hunt. We had 2 elk around or over 300, 299 on the one, 2 whitetail over 150, 2 big turkeys. Definitely was not a bad deal, and hopefully we can only continue that with our future hunts. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.